Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Zamora, and this is Scent Talk from my closet, the fragrance closet. And on this channel, we go over all things fragrance. If it is your first time watching, I do like to focus on one perfume house or topic at a time. And this week, we are featuring both a topic and a house. We're continuing our do a deep dive and then also focusing on the vanilla note. It just happened like this. I have about 4 or so fragrance samples here that were sent over by subscribers, and they have vanilla, the note of vanilla in them, and we're just gonna deep dive into these. It's just been such a treat trying out this brand. We had not done any duo reviews before on the channel, so I've just been pleasantly surprised. Thank you guys for suggesting, for sending samples over. It's just been a real treat. If this is something you're interested in, go ahead and continue watching. Consider hitting that subscription button and the bell so you'll be notified to new videos. Now, which fragrances do we have? We have a Nishane Ani. Dua's version is called Drowning in Vanilla. And then also Lorenzo Pazzaglia Sugar Kisses. I do have a full bottle because it is a love. It was a must. And Dua here has named their version Dua's Caramelized Hot Milk. So thank you guys so much for sending these samples over. This sample review, the Drowning in Vanilla, is about 2.5 years or so, just very late. I'm so sorry. I never got around to doing this comparison. Finally found my samples from Lola. So thank you, Lola, and thank you, Alma, for today's samples. Okay, let's start off with Drowning in Vanilla. You would think that this is just a decadent, if you knew nothing of Nishane Ani and the name Drowning in Vanilla, comes at you, and you just think this is going to be sweet, fluffy vanilla, maybe even ice cream territory, and it is definitely not. In the notes, we have top notes of ginger, bergamot, pink pepper, and green notes. In the mid, cardamom, blackcurrant, Turkish rose, and in the base, vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, cedar, patchouli, ambergris, and musk. Lots of notes going on there. A lot of people like to call this fragrance, leaning masculine. I do find that a lot of fragrances that have the note of cardamom in it can lean a little masculine. The ginger as well, a little bit spicy. Yes, this fragrance is spicy. It does open up like that, just a really, really sassy, like a strong, sassy ginger. That's what I think about that opening. And then in addition to the ginger, we get the cardamom nuances mixed in there, the woody feel as well. And it just reminds me so much of just walking through a forest in the winter. There's snow all around, and so it starts out a little bit cold feeling, and then you're thinking, oh, I need to warm up, and then here comes the vanilla dry down. The vanilla starts to peek through. The ginger, the really strong cardamom ginger notes just kind of start to take a seat back, and that vanilla pushes forward, and it just wraps you in a warm vanilla hug. It definitely warms up on the body, and that specific vanilla that Nishane Ani gives us is just one for the books. I personally really enjoy this vanilla dry down, you guys. I don't want to spray too much because this is the only travel size that I do own of Nishane Ani, and I'll explain why in a minute. Oh, I've never bought a full bottle of this because I just feel like it's such a strong opening, strong fragrance. And since I've compartmentalized it for the winter time, and we are 90-degree weather 90% of the year where we live here, I just don't get to wear it out enough or as often as I would like. Oh my gosh, yeah. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous ginger. Really, it's not that bright, believe it or not. With the bergamot and the pink pepper in the opening, I usually get a very bright feel. That ginger is just really spicy from the get-go. Yeah, even in that dry down, by the way, with the warm vanilla, you're still going to get a zingy ginger. The ginger never lets go. It just grabs on to you and never lets go. It's a nice scent cloud. It is much stronger in the opening than it is in the dry down. and I feel like it does kind of just end up sitting really close. So I would say no more than arm's length projection, and just kind of just softens up, you guys. So that's the original fragrance. Haven't talked to you guys about Nishane in a while. I think it's been, you know, a couple of years. So I want to talk to you now about Drowning in Vanilla by the Dua brand. Now this came in nice and hot. This one does give me a little more sweetness in this opening, you guys. Oh, where do I spray it? It's because we still have Sugar Kisses to talk about. Let me spray it over here. Ooh, that was a pretty big spray. Oh wow, nice. Okay, so let me tell you about this. This has, to me, just a, what's the word? The original feels like a mist, like really fine particles, like the smell of it also. And for the Dua, I feel it much thicker. I feel a very thick presence of all the notes, and a more rounded opening. The ginger is not as sharp. There you go, not sharp like the original. It is here, and I get the cardamom as well, but then I get like that vanilla's already here, already rounding things out with the Dua brand. So personally, because to me it was much sweeter, it was much more decadent in its presence, that vanilla that the Dua one has to offer, the Drowning in Vanilla, I personally preferred the wear of the Dua brand. I really did. You know, in fact, I would probably just layer these two to enjoy. So would I be interested in, you know, the Dua brand here version, Drowning in Vanilla? Definitely. It is a really good take on it. And that's that the sample is really old, like 2.5 years old. So I know it stands the test of time. Yeah, I would say that the wear as well was much more present, much more dense. I wore them side by side. And on the Dua side, it was just present. It was here. And of course the vanilla was nice and present throughout the whole wear, nice and round. Now the original wear, whereas it starts out really strong, you know, especially with the ginger and the cardamom, it kind of just tones down, and the vanilla, it's there. It's a gorgeous dry down of vanilla. But to me, when I wore them side by side, the Dua brand's vanilla overpowered the original. So I was like, oh, okay, I like this side better. Do I still love the original? Absolutely. I think it's a masterpiece personally. A lot of people think it's a very linear wear, and I don't, because it has a different opening than it has in the dry down. So that's my take on the Drowning in Vanilla. I really did prefer the sweetness of the Dua brand. Oh goodness, yes, I really did. To me, it even wants to lean like a chai latte, you know, in my opinion, or like a chai latte. It wants to lean a little bit, and the original doesn't give me that. It just gives me the pure spice, you know, piercing spice, and then of course that wonderful dry down of vanilla. Okay, that was it for that, you guys. Yes, I do recommend, if you're in the market for a Nishane type fragrance, definitely look towards that. One more fragrance, two more fragrances I will mention in this category are my very own Janelle Zamora Sweet Escape. This one has a ginger note. It also, and it's even sweeter than both of these, okay? Because this also has a just gorgeous vanilla. It has some ambergris, a little bit of sandalwood in the dry down. But this is just, I believe it also has some benzoin. Oh, I do absolutely love this one. Sweet Escape is wonderful. It is linked in the description for you guys. This is by Preproduction Perfumery, New York. I always love to bring it up when I talk about Nishane Ani. When I talk about Sweet Escape, I always bring up Nishane Ani because the ginger and the vanilla are just so close to, you know, that fragrance. But it's its own thing. It has more of a candy shop vibe to me. You know, it's got a candied note in there, and I love that. Then we have Ingenuous Ginger. And to me, this is a fresher take on ginger. And it also has a bit of a candied note. And to me, I haven't worn it a full day, so I can't give you full on details of wear, longevity, if it has, transformation. But I did spray it on my hand, and I noticed that it had a bit of a powdery feel, like luxurious tone. Yeah. So I'll probably wear test this soon. I know it was brought out over the summertime, but I never got around to testing it here by Goldfield and Banks. So those two fragrances I definitely wanted to bring up. And now one more thing about Nishane Ani is that they have a Nishane Ani X, if you're familiar. They have an X version. I have a sample here, haven't gotten to try a side-by-side, because the day that I sprayed one on each hand, I remember the original just knocking it out. I was like, oh, I can't really smell it anymore. So I'll have to wear this one alone. But what I am noticing is this is a much fresher take, and I think that was the point. It has a melon note that the original doesn't have, and it has just a couple of other notes in there that the original doesn't have. It has an aquatic tone, and yeah, that is apparent when you spray it. It definitely is. It has that little, summer vibe, just aquatic tone to it. So if you're looking for a fresher take, something that's not as heavy, I would think that this would be the one right here. Yeah, but the way, just an opinion here without having wear tested the fragrance yet, I would think that that one wouldn't have as much strength as the original does, because even the original kind of starts to sit back. So then, what kind of strength am I expecting from the aquatic, lighter version? Not too sure. I don't think much. All right, guys, next, last fragrance of the day here. Comparison, the Dua brand's Caramelized Hot Milk versus Lorenzo Pazzaglia's Sugar Kisses. Gorgeous fragrance. Oh, this one is one that I got a decant of, and I just fell in absolute love with it. I just could not. Okay, I just could not. This one gives me a really strong, like you will cough when you spray this in the opening. Like if you're getting smacked in the face, more so in the original, like you're getting smacked in the face with steamed hot milk and chemicals, but in the best way. Like just so good. Oh, like just so good. The opening to me is identical, right down to that strong, chemical makes you want to cough type feel. And then it is so sweet. It is so fluffy. This is a fluffy. I just can't believe they can put fluffy feel in a fragrance, but this has it. I get like a milk powder, milk chocolate type scent in there somewhere. Like a cupcake. And then so it's a bit lactonic, and I get a beautiful, beautiful vanilla. Just a fluffy, delicious scent. The original gives me a little bit more of a frosting type scent, like a buttercream frosting in the opening as well. Yeah, than the Dua brand, but they're both very creamy. They're both very delicious. So they differ just a tiny bit in that this one gives me more of that cocoa butter feel, more of that buttercream touch than the Dua brand. So this one gives me a little more sweet vanilla, less dense as the original. But I mean, they wear throughout the wear. That's just at the opening and when the fragrance is settling. And then throughout the wear, man, they're nearly identical. They really are. Now I got 12 hours plus wear on both of them. I didn't get much of a difference in the way that they were projecting or reacting, or wearing. So it does sit kind of close to the skin, and I have had the experience with Dua fragrances where the Dua is just blaring, blasting, radiating, and the original is not. And that wasn't the case here. So I didn't get much difference in projection, you know, throughout the wear. It is there, it is visible, but it is a low, you know, yeah, not past arm's length, and it's just kind of sits close to you. You know, very intimate, very, very, very decadent smell. You know, it's just, this is just one of those fragrances that just makes you go, so, so delicious. And I don't know where that rich, you know, powdery, just cocoa powder or, yeah, cocoa powder, just lovely smell comes from, but it's there. Yeah, this one, when it first came out, just made me laugh so much because a lot of people were just referencing all kind of other fragrances that this reminded them of, and I'm like, really? When I got my sample in, I didn't get any of that. You know, what I got is what I got. It's like a fluffy, delicious, homemade, you know, chocolate cupcake, but not a really like a fudge type scent. No, like a really light, airy, lactonic smell. And it's just gorgeous. So yeah, I'll go ahead and link the review to this, you know, the original review in the description for you guys to check out. I'm basically saying the same thing I'm saying right now. The only thing here is I really wanted to compare this sample that I was given, and oh, they were near identical, and the price point difference is nice. If you know, if you're looking for something similar but you don't want to dish out the funds for that original fragrance, then just go with the Dua Brands version. It is nice. I truly did enjoy this, you guys. If I did not have a full bottle of the original fragrance, this one would be coming into the collection for sure. Only reason it's not, it's because I don't need two things smelling exactly the same, and I didn't get a different, you know, air, a different, you know, projection, a different feel from the Dua brand. So they acted nearly identical. It was real nice. So almost 1-to-1 there with those fragrances. Just a tiny bit less decadent on the Dua brand, but I mean, just in the opening. So wow, just nice. Yep, Dua's done it again, I would say. They got really, really close. Really, really close there, you guys. Well, that was it for today. We're going to continue on this week. I'm on a vanilla kick. I have vanilla samples. So we're just going to get in there, you guys. And I'm going to let you know how close they're coming to the original, how they're wearing, you know, and just continue with this brand. We also do have a couple of samples on the way from lovely subscriber. Yeah. I'm looking for another sample that I had here that I haven't worn and I can't find it. So we'll touch base next video, definitely. I do have to head out. And if y'all have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below. Also, I love your suggestions. They're really helping me, you know, steering me into the right direction with what to try from the Dua brand. They have a humongous catalog. You know, they're always stocking fragrances every Friday from what I'm seeing. The subscribers, you know, sending me emails about, and I'm loving it. This has been a really nice gourmand journey that we've been on. All right, you guys, that was it for today. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day, your night, or your evening, and you stay safe. Bye-bye.